Hello, I'm Haley, and this is Taya, and welcome to Haley and Taya Rip Up Supernatural and Start Over, and also sometimes talk about other stuff, a podcast.
Also known as HATRUSA. And today we're talking about Season 2, Episode 9, Croatoan, which originally aired on December 7th, 2006, and was written by John Shaban, who has written other things before, like Skin.
And Hookman.
And
the Benders.
And the Benders. And Dead Man's Blood. Everybody loves a town. I think most of these are misses. We kind of liked Scarecrow, but we realized we only liked it because of Meg. And because of the little lore we created around Meg.
Yeah.
Hookman, I think we thought was fine. We hated the Benders, and Dead Man's Blood was whatever. Everybody loves a clown, I already forget.
I'd like to see how this compares in ratings to the other episodes that I have rated of his.
That'd be fun. I'll have to help you make a spreadsheet. We can make one in the HATRUSA,
I already made one, I just need to,
Oh, you have?
Well, I made one so that it exists, I just haven't done anything in it, because I don't know how to do anything in it yet.
Oh, okay.
But
if you want to share it with me or something, I can
It's in the HATRUSA folder.
Let me know what you want to do. Oh, it is? Oh, got it. Anyway, we have other stuff to talk about before we start anyway. We're going to make this a quick episode, but first we do have things to talk about.
We have so many things to talk about, though. Okay, so first of all, we'd like to issue an official apology to Jared Padalecki. We're sorry for making jokes about your absence at the convention. Not that you'll ever hear this, but we were last week when we recorded, I saw on Twitter that you made an announcement that you would not be attending the convention due to personal reasons, and it turns out that those personal reasons were not just because you didn't feel like it, but because you got in a very scary, deadly car accident. We're glad you're okay.
And we hope that you're recovering
swiftly and well.
Swiftly, easily. Yes, I'm so bad at wording that. And anyone who was with you, too.
I will, however, say I wish that online fans were a little bit less, but you do deserve the support to heal.
Yes.
In other supernatural
news, a totally
news,
different tone.
At the convention.
Different tone. At the convention. Holy shit.
Oh my god. Misha Collins. Buddy, you gotta stop talking.
Came out as bisexual.
Misha Collins accidentally came out as bisexual and then immediately had to go on Twitter and make a long Twitter thread and be sorry.
Not even immediately. It wasn't even immediately. It was a few days later.
God, that's
better. It was a few days later. So this happened on the 23rd, and then he apologized on the 25th. So I'm going to just very quickly, because I have it up, I found the videos, because it's not like someone misconstrued what he said. He just said one of the weirdly, he just said something very weird. He said, here, let me see if it'll load.
He said he was all three when referring to...
Hold on, no, I have it up first.
Okay.
He said, by a show of force, how many of you would consider yourselves introverts? And people raised their hands. How many extroverts? Raise his hands. And then that one won't load for some reason. Then he said something along the lines of just how many of you are bisexual? And the crowd went crazy. It's a shame that is the one GIF that will not load. But he said and how many are bisexual? And the person filming this video said, Misha, you didn't raise your hand for any of them. He went very quickly, I'm all three. And then he said, see, it would have been weird if I had said by a show of hands how many bisexuals in the audience, but I feathered it into another question there to make it socially acceptable. But so basically what he said, who is an introvert? Who is an extrovert? Who's bisexual? Someone says, you didn't raise your hand for one of those. And he said, I'm all three. So rightfully, everyone went, oh, he's coming out. But then he goes on Twitter and he tweets, I want to deeply apologize for misspeaking this weekend. At a fan convention in New Jersey, when I was talking with the audience, I said that I was all three things, an introvert, an extrovert, and a bisexual. My clumsy intention was to wave off actually discussing my sexuality, which, by the way, totally valid. But I badly fumbled and understand that was seen as me coming out as bisexual. This was not my intention, so I need to correct for the record. I'm not bisexual. I happen to be straight, but I am also a fierce ally, and the last thing I want to do is to falsely co-opt the struggles of the LGBTQIA plus community. I believe and fully support that we need to sanctify the human right to express our identities honestly and be free to love whomever we choose openly. I am deeply sorry for the clumsiness of my language. I want to be a better ally, and I feel sick to my stomach that I might have done anything to make things worse. I am trying to learn, trying to do better, and I will keep listening. Thanks, and I'm sorry, Misha. I think it is completely valid as an actor, as a public figure, as a human person, to not want to discuss with other people your sexuality, and for no reason do you ever have to disclose it to anyone, not even, like, your partners, honestly. Like, no one really needs to know the details.
As long as your partner knows you love them.
Exactly. They don't need to know what your label is. It's very much, though, like, I understand, like, sometimes in the moment you just say stupid things, but him going, oh, I don't want to discuss my sexuality, he somehow just went, yeah, I'm all three of those three things I listed, one of which is bisexual. Which, it was just so wild because really the immediate reaction was, holy shit, this legendary queerbaity show. One of its main leads was
who confesses his love to a guy
and then gets sent to hell.
Super hell,
where he's supposed to hang out for the rest of time. And so immediately people were like, holy shit, that's wild. Like, the CW is true garbage. And then 3 days later he comes out as straight. Like, it was just like,
the show's so funny.
But I have some mutuals who are still in the Supernatural fandom, and seeing the whiplash from they really, like, silenced, like, a bisexual man and sent his character to hell, to, man, Supernatural cannot stop queer baiting, even after it's been over for 2 years. It's just so insane, and I just think we don't need to talk about the episode, actually. I want to talk about this only. Hasn't it? Wasn't it 2020? Because 2020, November 2020, was when everything happened ever. This happened the same day that Elon Musk bought Twitter, if anyone was curious. Anyway, we're going to speed through this episode, because I don't want to talk about it.
Wait, hold on. Before we speed through, just last thought. Why does everything that has to do with Supernatural news always happen overlapping some, like, semi-monumental event? It's fucking weird. Anyway.
It's so strange.
Today, we watched Croatoan, as Taya has already said, and this episode goes like this. It opens in the middle of a scene, but Dean is in weird slow-mo, and then we're not in weird and slow-mo anymore because we go forward, and oh my god, Sam had a nightmare? Crazy. Sam is on the floor, and Dean's like, comes in with beer and is like, what are you doing? And then it goes to them in the car, and Sam's like, we gotta go to this place, and Dean's like, okay, and they go to the place, and they find the guy, and they go to the house of this person, and they're like, okay, we need to talk to Dwayne, and they're like, oh, he's not here, and they're like, okay, that sounds not believable. And before they go, they, like, look through the window, and they're the one who opened the door and his dad are doing, like, a weird ritual to the mom, and then they break in, they shoot the dad, the brother runs out the window, the mom, they bring her to the hospital, some weird shit starts happening, they find out that there's some sort of disease. They are all stuck in the hospital. Dean tries to escape to, like, go find the next town over, but there's, like, a barricade. So then they all get, like, they're in quarantine. They're in quarantine. They find out that the blood of the infected people there's sulfur in there, and Sam and Dean are like, okay, interesting. And I don't know. That happens for a bit. At one point, Sam gets cut and bled on, but then he doesn't get sick, and we find out it's because he's immune to it, but they don't know that at first, and Dina's ready to die with him. But then they don't have to die because he's immune, and everybody in the town is gone, and they all leave the town, and everything seems to be fine. But then Duane, who escaped with this guy at the Mark, who they met at the town in the beginning, they're in a car together, and Duane slits his throat, effectively killing the only black man in the episode, who we thought maybe he'd survive. No, it's supernatural. Of course he didn't. But then we find out that Duane is possessed by a demon, and he's talking to Azazel through the blood cup like Meg did. Then Sam and Dean are having a moment at a pier, and Dean almost tells Sam what John said to him before he died, but then he doesn't, and the episode ends.
Okay. Did you mention that? You know what? It doesn't matter. I thought about it, and like the characters don't matter, because I was going to say like, oh, did you mention that like the wife got infected? They came in basically when they were infecting her, so she gets infected. She tries to kill them. They kill her. Like,
oh wait,
this
she
makes
died?
people. I guess it makes the wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't actually show her getting shot, but they call him Sarge. Sarge, who is the black man that Dean found when out tried to escape. Mark, thank you. Dean only called him Sarge, so I couldn't remember.
I know, I only know Mark.
Dean and Sarge come in, and she's trying to be like, no, they did this. Like they kidnapped me. Like this is their fault. And Dean basically goes like, nope, and shoots her like a bunch of times.
Okay.
There's the doctor, right. There's the doctor's assistant, who is like, she gets infected at some point, but we don't know when, actually, I don't think.
It could have happened maybe while she was testing the blood.
Yeah, there's definitely, it happened at some point. And she infects Sam.
But not really.
Sam offers to shoot himself. Mark offers to shoot Sam. Dean ends up locking them in a room, himself and Sam in the room together. Sam cries. Like, but the thing is, like, none of these characters end up mattering, because in the end, the only one who gets out of this alive is hypothetically the doctor. But the demon who's talking to Azazel?
You did it. No, you did it there. Nope.
Nothing left behind or whatever. So presumably, I did.
Yeah.
Azazel, by the way, guys, we have a really bad lag today. Azazel, like, it's not shown, but it's implied that he goes back to kill her. So it's like, every single character here, except for the demon, is dead. So is there even a point to say that, like, anything else? Like,
well, it's not even said that they're dead. They're just gone.
Oh, yeah. Like, that's the other thing. Like, everyone just vanishes.
So I'm sure it's fine.
So
our death count for this episode, see, I'm doing it in the right spot this time. See that? Our death count for this episode is 5 total, with 4 being technically on screen.
Are you counting the doctor?
No, because I don't know if she died or not.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I was trying to... Okay.
No, I'm just using the deaths that are listed on the Wikipedia page.
So valid.
My first note today... Oh, wait. Let me do my little transition. Okay, it's time for Haley's notes.
Mm-hmm.
My first note today is grainy slow-mo. What is happening? In the beginning, during Sam's nightmare. It's like this horrible grainy slow-mo that comes back multiple times through the episode. Then I have Sam is on the ground. He's so funny. Sam has a nightmare and throws himself out of the bed. Love that he's a flailer. Headcanon, Sam moves a lot in his sleep. That's canon now.
This is actually, so we've talked before about Sam and Dean being like, why don't they save the money and just share a bed? It's because Sam will fully just attack Dean in his sleep.
Dean will be the one on the ground because Sam fucking rolls him out.
Exactly.
So that's canon now.
Right, like within the hour, right out of the bed.
Kicks him with both of his feet like a fucking kangaroo. Oh my god. Yeah. Then I have weird music because spoiler, there's no brought to you by in this episode because there is no music, but the only music that plays is this really weird instrumental as they, I think, enter the town, and it was so strange, and I didn't like it. Frank Beard is the name that Dean goes by in this episode. Apparently, it's a member of the band is ZZ Top, but I don't know that band, so the name Frank Beard is just a really funny name to me. Then I have that Sam, when they are introducing themselves to Mark, Sam seems to be doing an accent, but I can't tell. And then I made the note, I think that our rewrite Sam and Dean should be good at doing accents to try and hide. I think that that's something that should be canon for our Sam and Dean. That, like, not that they change their physical appearance like at all, other than like clothing obviously, but just that they get really really good at doing different kinds of accents. Like you can play like some sort of little game with them and they'll like nail every accent that you ask them to do. I think that would be funny, especially because I don't think it would actually come in handy at all. Yeah.
Oh god, no.
Like people are like, this doesn't change anything, we still like, we know you're the Winchesters, and they're like, yeah, but I'm a bit British in it. And they're like, no.
I'm British now. I'm the British Winchester.
I'm British.
What the fuck are you two idiots doing?
I'm a British Winchester, because I'm Winchester British in it, Tuesday. And they're like, you...
I'm gonna send this to Mel and then get blocked.
Oh my god. Well, it's fine. Then I have Croatoan equals Roanoke. Okay, sure. Apparently Croatoan was written on a tree in Roanoke. I don't know anything about Roanoke.
Wait, did you know this?
We talked about this.
How do you not know this?
I don't know anything about Roanoke. I don't know anything.
This was not in your history book? This was like in my history book.
No.
What? It was.
If it was in my history book, I didn't read it.
Oh my god.
No, I literally don't know shit about it. Like Dean Winchester, another
I was actually
Haley
under the assumption that
Dean
you also
moment.
learned about this in class.
No, I don't know anything about it.
Damn, okay.
All I know is that when I went to go to college in Virginia, it's okay. When I went to go to college in Virginia and I would tell people that it's in Roanoke, Virginia, they were like, oh, like the missing colony. And I'd be like, no, that was a different place actually, but okay.
Oh my god.
Anyway. Sammy still has his cast on, is my next note, because he still has his cast on. And we love Cast
I imagine
Sammy.
they filmed these eps pretty close together. But yes, we do love Cast Sammy.
We love Cast Sammy. He needs to be injured more. Then I have God, no, you God. We hate when they do the cut thing, because this episode involves, like, blood contact being the transmitter of the disease. There's a lot of, like, forcible cutting and then transferring blood by rubbing the cuts together or dripping the blood, and it's gross, and I hate it. I hate it so much.
Also, their blood in this episode was so weird because it felt like in each scene, like a different person had made that batch of fake blood. So in each scene, like it had a different consistency, a different color, a different like transparency or translucency to it. Like at the end, in the last scene, it's very much like thick and corn syrupy and like very shiny and see-through. But in the scene with Sam, it's a lot more saturated and bright. And I was just like, what's happening?
So weird. But we'll never get answers. Oh my god, who do you think was in charge of making the blood?
I'm sure they bought it. I'm sure you can just buy it in bulk. Well, because you have to do these scenes a ton of times.
Yeah, but it's more fun to imagine, like, there being an official blood maker.
Do you want that to be your job?
I would love that to be my job. I want that on my resume. Hey, why is there more slow-mo is my next note. Because there was more slow-mo. And then they really carried them to a little local hospital. Dean Winchester carries this dead man over his shoulder. And like...
just wrapped in like a blanket.
It's so much. Then I have the quote, not the best time for a bleeding heart, Sam, because Dean is fully ready to kill, I think, the wife or something. And Sam is like, we can't just kill her. And Dean is like, yeah, we can. Then I have, that's a lot of blood. I don't remember. Oh, there was a car. There was a car that was like broken down and there was like, the window was broken or something. And there was like a lot of blood in the car. And I was like, oh my god, that's a lot of blood. So that's why I have the note, that's a lot of blood. Then I have the note, lymphocyte, because the doctor lady is doing an autopsy on the dad. And she's like, there's a lot of lymphocyte in his blood. And I was like, I don't know what that means. I'm not a doctor. So,
did you look it up?
No.
Oh, I thought that's where this was going to go. Is. You saying you looked it up?
Nope. I didn't look it up. I don't know what it is. All I know is that I have the note. Lymphocyte? Sulfur in the blood's so funny. one of the symptoms of the Croatoan disease is that there is literally sulfur lacing the blood, and that is like such a funny like. What does that look like? I want to see what that looks like.
What do you mean? What does that look like? We saw it under a microscope.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh.
It like just kind of floated in there. It was just like little yellow specks.
That's so funny. God. So funny.
I can't believe you missed it. They showed it multiple times.
Well, I very clearly missed it. It's fine because my next note is another thing of little Haley Oblivion moment. In this episode, I just realized that Chevy is short for Chevrolet because we saw the front of Baby and it said Chevrolet, and my brain went, huh? But Baby's not a Chevrolet. Baby is a Chevy Impala, and then I went, oh my God, Chevy is short for Chevrolet. I hate this. I'm 23. It's fine. Then I have the note, Dean Winchester bisexual moments? That is along with the quote, you are a handsome devil, but I don't swing that way. Sorry. And I said, yes, sir, you do. Because legally he does. Legally.
Legally?
Yeah. For me, for this podcast, legally. I just found the paper cut that I got at work today.
That sucks, dude.
Yeah. The next note is the shooting of this episode is insane. I think that was during a scene where there was a lot of, like, it was going slow-mo and then not slow-mo and then slow-mo and then non-slow-mo back and forth.
Oh my God,
rapidly.
I hated it.
It was not a well-shot episode, which we will talk about a little bit more when it comes to the rating section. We have thoughts. No, wait. We talked about these thoughts at the beginning of the episode.
We did?
I mean, briefly, we talked. You brought up the writer and the fact that all of these episodes are.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so then they go into quarantine, and Pam's like, "But my boyfriend's out there," and I made the note, "Pam, I don't give a shit about your boyfriend. Like, we never meet him. Yeah, I don't.
We
care.
don't.
Like,
we don't. You'd think it would come up,
but it doesn't.
But it doesn't.
Then I have. Why are all of the women in this town blonde? Correct me if I'm wrong, but Beverly, Pam, and Amanda are the only three women we see, and they're all blonde.
Yes, you're correct.
What is happening? I think, and then that is my next note is Croatoan conspiracy. I think there's a conspiracy about blonde women in this town. That's my I have nothing else to say about it, and I have no reasoning. That's just my whole.
I thought you were
that's
going
just
to
my
have
whole.
Something more to say.
No, I have nothing else to say about it. Just putting that out there. Then I have the note. I just fucking love zombies so much because I love zombies so much. Zombies are so fun, and I've talked about this before when we had that one episode with a zombie. But I love zombies. I love how fucking versatile they are. Like, you can do anything you want with them now. It's so fun. And I should make my own zombie lore. I'm gonna make, like, something with zombies, and it's gonna be a new kind of zombie, and it's gonna be really cool. I don't know what, though, but it's gonna happen. I have the line, just leave her in there. You can't just shoot her like an animal. And I said, I mean, you can. You just don't want to.
I mean, I'm doing it. I have a book about zombies, and you don't, so that's weird.
Right.
What?
So...
Oh, you don't know what it's gonna be. Got it.
Oh, hi, this is our lag again. We're lagging so bad right now. Taya just responded to something I said about zombies about 30 seconds ago. I'm gonna keep going.
Good?
I'm good, Taya. My next note is, oh my god, Supernatural Among Us episode. Because they don't know who's infected and who's not. And it's Among Us. It's an Among Us episode. And I said that, and Taya was like, no. Yeah, so... Supernatural Among Us episode. Then I have Jared Padalecki's head looked so large in that scene. There's a scene and his head just looks huge. Taya made the note that his hair looked strange in this episode, which is fair. Then I have...
It came and went. Sometimes it looked more normal than other times.
Yeah. Then I have, uh-oh, he's got a cut. The sulfur might have gotten in your blood, sir. That's referring to Dwayne. And it's never really are we under... So we're supposed to be under the impression that Dwayne has been possessed by the demon for, like, the whole episode, right? Like, that cut is nothing because he's already a demon.
He was the one who brought it. He was the one who brought it here.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Like, on orders from Azazel. Oh. That's what I'm going with this time.
All
Azazel.
Right. Okay.
I think that's fun. I think that one's fun.
How many times can Saya say Azazel's name wrong?
It's going to be so many times by the time we're done with this season.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. My next note is Sam's flustered, squeaky voice is so funny. Whenever he gets all like flustered and anxious, Jared Padalecki gets this voice for him, and it's just like my favorite thing. It's just I love it. I love it.
Just kind of squeaky.
It's kind of squeaky. It's just good. I like it. I appreciate it. Then I have the note, is Dean infected? I think he is. And then JK, I think he's fine. He was fine. He wasn't infected. He was just
He had a
Dean.
moment where he was just like a lot.
Yeah. Then I have, oh my god, Molotov cocktails, and I'm still not sure why they made Molotov cocktails. Still confused about that.
But I think they were going to try to break.
They were gonna try to
out
blow
of the quarantine.
Oh, to blow
yeah,
up the barricade.
The cars.
Okay.
Yeah, the car barricade. That was my assumption.
That makes sense, I guess.
But then they didn't need to because everyone vanished.
Yeah, I guess
they were
that
like,
makes
okay,
sense.
quick,
but
make
these.
Stupid. And then it was like, just kidding. It's fine.
Then I have, how the fuck does this bullshit demon virus work? Because I still don't understand how the Croatoan virus works. I think it's stupid. I think that it was not built very well, and I don't know if that's the point or if it's just poor writing. But it was not built well, and there's no one like the coherence of the mechanics of this disease.
What are you confused about? What part confused you the most?
I don't remember why I wrote this note. I don't know what it was that made me like frustrated about it. It's just like, okay, so it's transmitted through blood.
Yes.
But there's a couple people who there's the nurse Pam, the nurse assistant. We don't know like how she got infected. We can assume that it was by blood.
We gotta assume that it happened. We have to assume it happened, one, off screen, and two, I'm assuming it happened
when she was testing the blood.
No, I was assuming it happened either when she was testing the blood or what's his name could have done it. Dwayne.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what is it? It just makes you what? Bloodthirsty? It makes you want to kill? Is that it?
And insanely strong?
Is that part of it?
Yeah, because Mark said that his neighbors, the longer that it goes on, the stronger you get.
Okay, sure. Okay.
It seems like
I'm just saying I could use a little bit more.
I mean, I think the point is it doesn't matter in the end because they weren't doing it to like for any reason other than to just see if Sam was immune. That ends up being it.
Yeah.
That's the only reason it happened.
Yeah. This fucking show. My next note is just shoot me, just do it, Sam moment number whatever. Because when Sam gets what he thinks is infected, he's ready to just die. And he's like, just shoot me or I'll do it myself. And then Dean locks them in the room. And also, this is where, fun fact, today while recording our reactions, my Audacity stopped recording me. So from this point on, Taya...
talking to myself. One-sided conversation. You guys can just fill in the blanks yourself. How about that?
Yeah, but here's the fun thing.
You can just have a conversation with me.
Oh my god, that's so fun. But here's the cool
yourself. Thing. Make it yourself.
Is I do have like my own notes, and also like obviously Taya heard me because we were in a call together.
Yeah.
But my next note is so funny when Dean just drops. Oh, by the way, we aren't insert authority figure here because he tells Amanda and the rest of them to take the explosives and go. And
Marshals, U.S. Marshals.
Yeah, no, but I was like in general, like him just saying like whatever they're pretending to be in that moment.
Yeah.
But she's like, oh, thank you, Marshals, like for all you've done, and he's like, oh, yeah, we're not. And
and she just has a moment.
Yeah, like, she just goes, oh, okay. And I just think it's so funny when he does that to people. It, like, so nonchalantly. I like him. He's funny. Next note is, you can keep going. Who says I want to? It's a conversation when Sam and Dean are stuck in the room together. Dean just starts talking about how suicidal he is, basically. And he's like, I'm sick of this job. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this this is kind of a very important part of the plot that we just kind of skimmed over. When they're in the room together, Dean just starts being like, I hate this job, I hate what I'm doing, I'm sick of this, I'm sick of life, I'm tired. So it's it's like kind of sad, but it's a weird moment for him to be having this sad boy hours. TM. But my next note is Dean Winchester suicidal ideation, because Dean Winchester wants to die. And my next note after that is this guy never gets a break for the rest of the show, huh? He just wants to die for 13 years.
And then he dies.
That's perseverance. And then
he dies.
And then he dies. But when he dies, he finally doesn't want to die. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Dean Winchester leads a sad, sad little life.
That's true.
My next note is Sam is immune to the virus because of his demon immunity. It's not directly stated that's why, but that's why.
I think that they, I don't know if they'll ever outright say it,
but it's heavily implied.
I would argue it's outright almost said with what's Dwayne calling Azazel and being like, yeah, he's immune. Like, that felt very like...
Right. It's like explicitly implicit. Then I have the note, why is that blood so thick? Because when Dwayne slits Mark's throat, the blood is so thick. Oh my god. And then Taya and I both imitating Sam going, nah, because...
He going, no.
Yeah, Dean tries to, like, brush it off, like, no, I didn't say anything back there. And Sam's like, no. And it was very funny, and we both did it at the same time.
And it's supposed to be like an emotional moment between brothers, and we're like, no.
We're just making fun of them.
Mocking him.
And then my final note is maybe the Grand Canyon would fix Dean Winchester.
Mm-hmm.
Followed by Dean is a transcendentalist and a philosopher now. And I went on a little tangent about Ralph Waldo Emerson and Henry David Thoreau, and Taya mentioned the fact that I brought up philosophy in the last episode, and the reason is because I'm in 2 philosophy classes and a course right now called Romantics and Transcendentalists, so I have a lot of knowledge about both of them and how they relate to each other. So I think that Dean is both of them, but like in a weird, non-scholarly way.
I get it.
And that's my notes today.
This episode is so fucking long. Admittedly, though, we did talk about freaking supernatural news for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Lore, this is just... I don't know. They knew what they were doing with this one, I think. I imagine they must have known Croatoan was coming back at some point in the future.
Right.
So this whole episode only serves to set up other things. We learn demons can cause infections, and that Sam is immune to demon infections.
Right.
And the rest of this will be used in future episodes. And that's it. That's the lore library.
Cool. Awesome. Brought to you by, as I said before...
Nothing.
There's none. Oh my god.
It's nothing.
I forgot to write on this.
What?
Before brought to you by is supposed to be crack shipping, and I didn't write that on this note.
That's because who cares?
I care.
I feel bad. These characters were nothing. They had no personality.
No. Ready? Dwayne and Dean can hate fuck in that one scene where Dean almost shoots him.
Okay.
My fave wiki page moment is in the trivia section on the Croatoan episode page, where it says, it was never revealed what happened to the disappeared townspeople afterwards. We just don't know. They
don't
go.
Tell you. I think that's supposed to be, in a way, just a reference to the actual Roanoke colony.
I guess so.
They don't tell us because we don't know in real life. But I will say, since Croatoan is coming back, extremely unsatisfying.
Right.
It's another one of those episodes where they just walk out of it, and you're just like, okay.
Yep. So, Question mark? What's yours?
Mm-hmm. My favorite is in the errors section because half of my favorites come from the errors section. But it says Mark Fargo is mostly referred to as Sarge in the episode, despite Mark being a Marine, and Sarge is a term Marines do not often use. He's also called Master Sergeant by Dean, even though his tattoo does not discern the rank of Master Sergeant whatsoever.
God.
Dean is just assigning this dude ranks, which is fine.
And he never corrects him.
No, he just lets it happen, which I think is pretty good.
That is pretty good.
It's like, why not? We're at the end of the world. Are we at the rating? I want to be done. No offense to you. I love talking to you.
No,
I'm just
okay.
so sick of talking about Supernatural today.
We are at the rating. Today, my rating is 3 disappearing townspeople out of 10. And before you read the IMDb ratings, I went through and pulled out my ratings for the other episodes that I have ratings for by John Chabon.
Mm-hmm.
So, Scarecrow, I gave a 9 out of 10 because we loved it, but mostly because of Meg. So that's the reason. Scarecrow is an outlier because then The Benders was a 0.7 out of 10.
Scarecrow's an outlier because the more I think about it, like, I got so frustrated and upset with the lore of that one, but The Benders is so bad.
The Benders is so bad. So, Benders have 0.7 out of 10, and then Dead Man's Blood was 1 out of 10, and Everyone Loves a Clown was 2 out of 10. So, I hate to say it, John Chabon, but, like,
I guess that was better.
Dude, I think there's a reason he stopped writing episodes. And it's because he sucks.
It's not very good.
I'm sorry, John Chabon, but get a better
The writing is just not great.
It's not good, John. It's not good. So what does IMDb say about this episode?
This has an 8.7 out of 10. Same as last week.
The show sucks. I hate it here.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. There's 10 reviews, and all of them are above an 8 or... No.
Oh.
Holy shit. 1 out of 10.
Oh my god, yes.
Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. No one talking about this? Question mark, exclamation point. All capitals.
Oh my god.
By SFNH Zaz. March 23rd, 2022.
Oh my god, that's last month!
So, admittedly, this one is moralizing it a bit. I know, is moralizing it quite a bit more than we tend to, because Haley's immediately gonna go, who cares?
Okay.
It starts out like this. Dean murders an innocent woman.
Literally, who cares?
That's the first line. Yes, the mother was infected. But keep in mind, she was at least an hour or more from turning and had done absolutely nothing wrong. This whole episode is weird, man. The brothers are so trigger-happy to blast anyone with a smidge of demon-related crap to them. Seriously, watch the scene. The mom was cuddled up in a corner, crying for help, and Dean kills her. A few episodes back, Dean was learning that not everything he kills is actually evil. Well, this? Just a scared woman. No self-defense. They didn't help once. Just cold and heartless. They should have waited or tried to find another solution to help the poor woman. But no, let's just kill her. Aha, so what? More like so dumb. So disappointing because it doesn't fall in line with the whole anti-hero stuff for Dean. It feels so cold and evil. I guess you can't write perfect all the time? Ever? Weird how no one has talked about this. If you just watch it as is, it feels so weird and wrong. This is a weird review because I think it kind of highlights like the very stressful situation that they are put in, which is the fact that that woman was going to turn, but they did kill her before she turned, I think. So it's just like...
So this is getting into the philosophy behind mercy killing in zombie apocalypses.
Oh, and that's your jive, isn't it?
It's
like, that's your shit.
Not only... It's my shit, but also, like... not to, like, promote my professor's book, but my professor that I have for philosophy literally wrote about this in the textbook that he wrote and released last year.
That is amazing.
He has a whole section. He has a whole section in his book, on bioethics, and there's a section on euthanasia, and he relates it to The Walking Dead, and like talks about the philosophy behind mercy killings.
Oh wow!
Shout out to Joseph Forte. You're a cool, fun guy. Yeah, it's... Like, if you're gonna bitch about Dean, you gotta bitch about every fucking zombie show ever. Which is a lot of them.
A lot.
So we're just not gonna.
That's fair. No, that's fair. I think that there's a lot of reasons to dislike this episode, but I don't know if I agree with that one. If only because I wouldn't say the episode goes without it, because even if they don't talk about the woman, Sam does pull Dean aside and be like, you're really gonna kill this guy?
I do think that
it would even know if he is infected.
Right. So, I do think that it would have been more powerful or more, like, effective. Like, it is a completely correct point, because Dean did just go through the whole thing being like, oh wow, things aren't just inherently evil all the time. So I think that had he been infected in some way, it would have been more impactful for him to have like another little trauma moment. So I think that's a way that we could change our rewrite by like, maybe he's starting to get infected with the Croatoan virus in that moment, and that's why he wants so badly to like just get rid of her, because like maybe he accidentally got infected when he was trying to save her back in the house, and now like he's mad about it.
I think the problem with that is we literally don't have a cure. There is no cure as far as we know. Like,
yeah, but
if Sam weren't,
you're right.
We have to come up with like if like I think
you know what? You know what? There's so many times that Dean Winchester gets out of shit just because he's Dean Winchester. Remember the fucking mark? That fucking mark he gets later, like way later, that's supposed to be like, you can't get rid of this mark, but he does?
Yeah.
I don't fucking care about him.
That's actually where I stopped. I stopped as soon as he got the mark and turned it to a demon. That's when I stopped watching the show.
God.
That was the last episode I watched.
Good. Whatever your name is who wrote that review, you're valid, but there's a lot more problems behind it than just that. Do you want to say your things?
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for listening. We are HATRUSA everywhere. We are on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Eventually, I'm still working on getting more videos out there. And we are also on, sorry, I just totally forgot what it was. We are on Reason.fm.
I literally have no idea what that is.
Neither do I. We got an email saying that
what?
Someone wanted someone emailed us said, and Reason did, and said either us, which wasn't us, we didn't know about this site, or a curious fan have asked you to claim your podcast on Reason, the social podcast platform.
Holy shit!
So that's pretty cool. We're on Reason now. You can follow us and you can leave comments, and I'll try to figure out how to use it if you guys want to use it.
Thanks so much to whoever did that.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's wild. But yeah.
Oh my god, do people love us? Do you guys love us?
Thank you so much.
Oh my god.
We really do appreciate it. And tell your friends, tell anyone you think might want to listen, who might want to find out the most wacky supernatural news a week late, who just needs some noise in the background, or who just really want to know what supernatural is like without having to ever watch an episode.
Right.
We're here for you.
Hey, Taya.
Hey, Haley.
Where does Dean go when Sam's alone?
I guess we'll find out.
Okay. In what episode?
The next one.
That was a cue for you to say in episode 10 of season 2 called The Hunted.
Oh. It's been a long recording day.
Okay, catch you on the flip side.
Catch you on the flip side.